Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the garage. Anyway, today's video is about the brake lines. I don't know if you remember a past video way back in the day. I did the hard lines, did them wrong, kind of a pain in the butt, and so I just decided to do the expensive version, and we're gonna do AN lines. So to go from this to this, which is significantly nicer and malleable, and all you have to do is put some P-clamps in there. There are 3 different parts that we're gonna have to this video. 1 is how to construct an AN line. 2 is how to measure to fit your lines. This is my technique, it's not the only or best. And then 3, how I connected my brake lines personally and how it can be different for your setup. So let's hop into it. We have stainless steel lines. We have our reservoir that I took off. We've got lots of fittings. We've got our throttle cable, throttle pedal. Yeah, it's OEM, it's fine. But to go from our pedals to our reservoir, we have to go through the firewall, which is why we have bulkheads. There's 2 of them. One of them's hiding. I had these made a long time ago. So we're gonna install our bulkheads, our plates, and get everything ran. So I guess a little explanation of what I've been doing. Making AN lines. These are PTFE-3 lines that I'm using. So I bought the lines and the fittings from Summit because they had the cheapest ones and good reviews. So I should preface, cheapest ones with good reviews that are trustworthy. I've had one AN line from eBay. Never gonna do that again. Step 1 is how to construct an AN line. I learned this off of Summit's website. That video I will have linked below. I would take one end and make it up, and then I would run my line, mark it to where I needed to cut it at, cut it, and now you've got this taped end that helps it not fray. So what you want to do is put your back shell on first, and then you can take your tape off, and you want the braiding to fray so that you're able to put the brass fitting over the tubing on the inside. You stick your fitting through the brass tubing, and then you pull your back shell up and twist that on to tighten everything down, and there you go. That's how you make up one end of an AN line. All right, I've already done this once that I wouldn't look like a total idiot, but first things first, we have to take off our old fitting, that rusty piece right there, and we're gonna put in our new AN line to 3/8 MPT adapter. So we've got our normal brake line here, our AN line adapter side here, and we're just gonna screw that in as such. Here is our fitting. Now we're gonna take our 90 that we've partially put on here. I don't know, I haven't tightened it down all the way, so I still have some adjustability later on, and we hook our 90 up here as such, and it just kind of sits around our frame rail here and kind of comes up, and we'll route it up through our engine bay, along frame rail, along the firewall to our bulkheads over there. So we've got the AN line attached here, but it's just raveled up on the ground. So now I'm going to feed it up and over to our bulkhead. Well, I'm an idiot and forgot to film. Basically, I found the route that I wanted. It's not up there yet. I will eventually. I'll put them all down with P-clamps. Basically, I would run it and hold it with my hands all the way up until the point here where I'm going to. I know that it's a straight end, so I came to this point where it was a big wire, and I ended up just using some masking tape. Gave it about an extra 1/2 inch to an inch, masked it up, and then cut it as you saw earlier, and then put the end on, and here we are. Now that I completed the front 2 brake lines, I'm gonna throw you on a time lapse and finish up the back ones. I just finished running the long one from the front to the back car, and then we're gonna tee it off back here just like we did with the hard lines. Pulled this old nasty hard line in. Look at that. It's already freaking rusted. It's disgusting. Oh, the stainless steel AN lines are mint. Just another reason to do this. They're easier to install and uninstall if you need to, I guess. And, oh, man, do they look good. So I just finished up the last brake. It has been an absolute nightmare to do the back two. Took significantly longer than the front, which is to be expected. I do have to order a couple of P-clamps to clean everything up. I had just the right amount of AN line, like pretty much to a T. I ordered 20 feet, and this is how much I have left. Turned out to be perfect. So step 3 is explaining exactly how the brakes in my car are personally working. Some of you will notice that there are 3 lines for the 3 res spots and the 3 AN lines coming from our brake boosters. Most cars have 1 master cylinder, and that goes to both the front and the rear brakes. So as you can see from this incredible illustration, as you can see, this is the diagram for most cars. Brake pedal pushing into your master. Your master then displaces brake fluid to push your front calipers, which are split at some T, whether it's here or the master, and then it'll also displace for the rears. What this means is you only have to have 1 master cylinder. However, that is not the case for my car. So then you're wondering, Grant, then why do you have 3 lines coming out? I know one's for the clutch, but why do you have 2 lines? You idiot. Ha! I got you. Let me tell you why. Alright, so here is the dealio. We've got 2 masters. We've got a rear master and a front master. If you go back and check out the pedal box video, you can kind of see it. I didn't really point it out, but the single brake pedal actuates both of these at the same time, and it has adjustments for exactly how much it presses on one rather than the other. So I'll press on the front brakes, because that's where most of your braking power comes from, a little bit more than I'll press on the rear brakes. These are also sized differently. I couldn't tell you what the bore size is. All I know is the fronts are larger than the rears. And then eventually we're going to throw hydro into this mix, and but it's going to be standalone, so it's not going to mess with any of this. It's for a later video. If you'd like an explanation on exactly how that works, let me know in the comments below. Thanks. We also have a remote reservoir, so that's holding all of our brake fluid. There's 3 separate chambers in here, and one's feeding our clutch master, one feeding the rear master, and one feeding the front master. We then put them in through bulkheads in our firewall, and the front ones only go to the front brakes. It just tees off here, and then our rears, we ran a line all the way to the back, and then it tees off closer to the back wheels. That way less line was being used. So that's the reason we have 3 bulkheads. It's for our rears, for our fronts, and for our clutch. So yeah, that's step 3. If you got any questions, make sure to throw them in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram. I also found the last AN line that came with my Autosports Engineering CD09 to 2JZ adapter kit. It's a mouthful. Luckily this one was pre-made. It already fits. It's a little long actually, but I'm not going to try to shorten it. It's got crimped on AN lines. So tomorrow I'll be putting back on our reservoir exactly the same place I put it, and then we're going to try to bleed them all. Alright guys, if you're still watching up at this point, thank you so much, and comment below your dream wrap or paint color that you do on your dream car. Do me a favor and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Abby, don't be eating things. Hey, what are you doing?